Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk the NFL action we have on Christmas Day between Baltimore and Houston, as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at home. We have a couple angles to go down, as well as I'll give you guys my best bets for both of these games here in this video to go along with some props. So I hope you all are doing well. Enjoy the holiday season. Let's get those presents unwrapped and away from the tree so that we can see both of these games that will be aired on Netflix. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into it. As always, guys, if you want to join TBM Sports, completely free to do so. All you have to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, and that will let YouTube know that you like what we have to say. And let's cash some tickets, okay? So let's get into Outlier as we're going to be breaking down these games. First and foremost, we're going to look into the early window within Kansas City and Pittsburgh. As we look at the Chiefs laying 2.5 on the road, some buy down on Pittsburgh as they were 3-point home underdogs. Now, this is a big game with implications for the AFC. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming in at 14-1. For me and my money, guys, I will not bet against the Kansas City Chiefs minus 2.5. Tomlin as a home dog is not the same as being a road dog. So I do see an angle where I do like the Chiefs minus 2.5. Now that we get that under a field goal, that's going to be one of my favorite plays of the day. It's a must play for me. Also, I do like the under 43.5. We talk about the Chiefs kind of ad nauseum, and in this spot, you can see kind of where they're at in terms of the total. They are 7-8 over under, but these unders are kind of been deflated. Also, you got to look at kind of the closing value. A lot of these numbers have not been kind of where you could got them earlier on, but now at 44, dropping all the way as low as 42.5. So definitely some money on the under for this first game. Okay. In terms of the props, I do want to share with you guys kind of where I'm at, but I do want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs here in the under. I think this is something where, with Mahomes' injury, he looked fairly mobile, looked fairly healthy, but now he has to play 2 games in a short week. You couple that within kind of how Kansas City on the road, they are not scoring a lot of points in those contests. I do think that the Steelers, they are going to try to take the ball away from Mahomes. They did not look all too well against the Baltimore Ravens in a game where a lot of people thought that would go under. There was some explosion, and we did get that number to go over as well. Mike Tomlin, conversely, 18-10 to the under as a home dog. Without George Pickens, I don't think that even if he is able to play, how healthy will he be? And that Pittsburgh offense is definitely different when Pickens is not on the field. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think there's going to be a lot of running, so I do think Pacheco into a brick wall. Steelers are going to be fired up on Christmas, so I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Kansas City, and I do lean towards the under. 42.5 is kind of where the number's at now, but if you did want to bet that kind of juiced up 43.5, you can find out there in the market taking that under 43.5. And even 44 in some spots, right? We're seeing 43.5 at Bet365 at plus 100. So my money will be on the under, and I do like the Chiefs minus 2.5. Okay, so that's enough about the side and the total. Let's talk about the game as well. I do have 2 props I want to share with you guys. This is the beauty of Outlier. Make sure you check my link out down below for a 7-day free trial. Chris Boswell. All right, we missed on that against Baltimore. They scored kind of chunk plays, and it was one where they did have the ball on their side of the 50 going in to score, and I thought that Baltimore's defense would have held them to more field goals. He made one before halftime, but we did not get that other field goal to come across. So I do like Chris Boswell over 2 field goals. If you can't find the 1.5 over field goals, you can take the Boswell over 6.5 kicking points. So all we'll need is Pittsburgh to score a touchdown and 2 field goals to cash that. I do like the over 1.5 field goals more than the over 6.5 kicking points. That way, you have some angles. You just need 2. You could still cash the over 6.5 with 3 field goals. So 1.5 over field goals, that will be my best bet in terms of special teams. Also, I'm going to get into Russell Wilson. All right. I do think over 12.5 rushing yards is a great play. Last 3 games, he had 17, 13, and 27 respectively. So we're going to kind of look at it from a last 5 perspective. I think that what Kansas City's looking to do, get after the quarterback. There's going to be a lot of running lanes, maybe some design draws. Also, you have the ability for quarterback sneaks. But I do think that Russell is going to be fairly mobile in this contest. So taking Russell Wilson over 12.5 rushing yards is kind of where I'm going to be at as one of my best bets as well. Okay. The later game between Houston and Baltimore, that's a game that's going to be fairly interesting due to the fact that, yes, Baltimore looked exceedingly well against Pittsburgh. but more so because Houston will be Tank Dell-less, okay? He's going to be out for the season. Unfortunate injury he sustained in that touchdown grab. But in this game, I do look for the Houston Texans to kind of falter a little bit. Not too strong of an opinion on the side or total as we look at Baltimore laying 5.5 on the road. Total set at 46.5. Probably would lean towards the under 47 if I was going to bet this game. I'm not too kind of keen on laying 5.5 with Baltimore, so I'm going to pass on that. However, I do want to talk about the Nico Collins angle. Now that he's basically going to be the primary receiver, no Diggs, no Tank Dell. It's basically Nico Collins and, just a tight end. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you look in his last 10 games, 80% of the time he did cash over his longest reception. You can find 27.5s in the market. So basically he just gets a home run ball from CJ Stroud. There's a lot of kind of arguments you can make for this. I'm not in love with it. I just think it's something that does hit more times than not. So it's something that I'm more inclined to take than not. But if you do think that Baltimore is going to kind of clamp down, blanket him, and kind of take him out of the game, they do have kind of the propensity to alleviate the deep ball the way that they do play defense. And that's kind of where you would lean towards the argument that he goes under the 27.5 longest reception. But I do think that this is something where he's all they got. So I think they're going to have to air it out. And I know that going against Baltimore, it leans towards the conversation that he goes under 27.5. I just think that, all it's going to take is one. So Nico Collins to catch one deep ball over 27.5 in a bet that he's cashed 80% of his last 10 games. Okay. So that's pretty much where I'm at. If you want to just talk some props, another one that I do like quite a bit, that will be basically the Lamar Jackson angle, okay? I'm not going to get into the rushing kind of side of it, okay? I do think Baltimore plays good rush defense. I think that Joe Mixon might be held a little bit more so in contempt with Baltimore being able to play one-sidedly. If anything, though, I would kind of look at the Baltimore Ravens minus 5.5. If I was going to bet it, I do like that, possibly teasing that with the under. Okay, so taking the under down and doing a little same game teaser with Baltimore essentially at a pick 'em. Okay, I just really struggle to see a way that Houston scores any points. So that's kind of where I'm at. But within the Lamar Jackson angle, I do like him going over 1.5 passing touchdowns, okay? I think that primetime Lamar, Christmas Day Lamar, same kind of conversation. I think that he shows out, and I think that's something where we do see Lamar Jackson get it done through the air. Mark Andrews to get into the end zone, that's something that I like a little bit as well. So Lamar Jackson over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That number is a little juiced up. I think it's above minus 140, 145. But I do like Lamar to get 2 touchdowns through the air as a best bet for the props in the Houston-Baltimore game. So that'll about wrap it up. Those are my best bets. Like I said, I broke down the games. I wish you guys all the best, not just within your picks, but have a great rest of your holiday season. Enjoy it. It'll be a fun one watching these 2 NFL games to go along with some college football action as well on Christmas Day. So I appreciate you guys. Good luck. And remember to hit that subscribe button down below. And please like this video. And we'll see you guys all in the next one. Cheers.